Hi, I'm Paul Levinson. You're listening to Light On, Light Through. Today's episode will be on the Prius and the reunion of talking and walking. It wasn't really because I saw Larry David driving one on Curb. Maybe Sidney Bristow driving one and talking about it on Alias had a little more influence, but I'm pretty sure I bought my Prius under my wife and family's coaxing for the old-fashioned, tried-and-true reason. I'm a cheapskate. I was chafing under the insanely high prices at the pump, and the Prius and its 50-plus miles per gallon with its hybrid engine seemed a logical as well as enjoyable way to do something about that. Now, I know this is sounding like a commercial, but bear with me. First of all, I'm not quite getting 50 miles per gallon at all on the Prius as yet. 40 has been more like my average, but I guess that's still pretty good, and I'm hoping the mileage will get better as the car settles in. But as much as I like not filling up the tank all the time, it turns out that that's not the thing I like best about the Prius. My cell phone's Bluetooth makes the Prius one big cell phone on the move. At least that's what it feels like to me. I step into the car and it becomes suddenly able to make and receive calls. If I'm listening to the radio and a call comes in, I press an icon on the screen and I'm in business. Now, I've been writing for years about the relationship of transportation and communication, of talking and walking. In the distant prehistoric past, the two always went together, hand in hand, or maybe mouth in hand. If you wanted to talk to someone, you had to walk into that person's physical presence. The invention of writing changed all of that. As Sigmund Freud put it, writing is the voice of an absent person. Its great advantage is you can and usually do read the words of a person who's not there. The same, of course, is true of recordings nowadays. So just as you're now listening to this, and I'm very likely, at least as far as I know, nowhere near you, so when you read the words of someone, that person is usually nowhere near you and, in fact, in most cases, long gone. I mean, if you think about what happens when you read what Plato says Socrates said, you're talking about a person who has been absent for a really long time. Now, the cell phone, even without an attached car, has begun to put walking and physical presence back into the picture. You can walk and talk at the same time now to a person who is not in your physical presence, but at least your physical presence is not bottled up somewhere in a room or an office. Car phones were actually the first incarnation of cell phones, and I used to have one, and I liked it. And one thing I never liked about the cell phones that replaced car phones was having to juggle with earpieces that somehow never quite fit right, at least not in my ear. So the Bluetooth Prius connection feels like an old friend to me, someone that I hadn't seen in more than a decade. And it's smoother and swifter than the old car phones. Like lots of other things in the Prius, it seems to come to life with your very approach and entrance into the car. It almost feels as if the car is responding to your impulse and thoughts. What's the next step? Teleportation. Well, in the meantime, I'll keep driving with a light foot to maximize the mileage. I always want to save a buck. And I'll keep talking about it on the dashboard.